When it comes to compact sedans in America, it's really been a Civic and Corolla kind of world. In fact, Corolla is celebrating 50 years in America. But Elantra is no slouch. In the last generation Elantra, they really stepped up their game, and sales proved it. Now they've gone one step further. The one thing missing from many Korean cars, especially the Elantra, were the driving dynamics. They made this a lot stiffer and just a lot better overall, and we're going to tell you why. While mid-size sedan sales have been down, compact sedans are actually going up, about 2.3 million units a year. And Hyundai wants to get a good share of that. So they completely redesigned it. This is a whole new car. If it looks a lot like the Sonata, well, it should. This is part of this Fluidic Sculpture 2.0. You have this new hexagonal grille up front that's become the signature of the brand. You have all new lights, HID lights that have the bending capabilities, and you have these new vertical day-running LEDs. So everything has been changed to make it a more modern looking sedan. As far as its dimensions, it's almost an inch longer and an inch wider than the outgoing Elantra. The Elantra is as roomy as a Cadillac CTS and actually roomier than a BMW 3 Series and Audi A4. There are a lot of unique premium features in the new Elantra. For example, with the upper trim levels, you get illuminated door handles. You also get 17-inch alloy wheels and a segment-first smart trunk. You've heard us demonstrate this before. All you do is have your proximity key in your hand. As long as you're near the trunk, it opens up. This 2017 Elantra is one of the most aerodynamic with a coefficient of 0.27 in the segment. And they've made some enhancements. For example, you have this wheel air curtain. In here, you have an opening. The air comes in through here and out in front of the tires. And other vehicles, it just gets trapped in the bumper. You also have an optimized undercarriage. So they've added some pieces of metal and plastic to make it more aerodynamic. In the back, you have a trunk that's been extended. Also, it has kind of a built-in spoiler, and the rear bumper has a spoiler on the bottom of it as well. Elantra is launching with 3 models. You have an SE, which is the base model, and you have the Limited, which is the one we're driving today. That's the top-end model. Both of those get a 2-liter 4-cylinder normally aspirated engine, 147 horsepower, and combined 33 miles per gallon. Now there's a new Eco model. It's going to be right in the middle. It'll be out in the spring, and that's going to have a combined 35 miles per gallon. It's going to be a 1.4-liter turbocharged, made it to a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. Transmission options on this engine, 6-speed manual or a 6-speed automatic. But the big news is what's coming in the fall. There's going to be a sport model. They didn't give us too much information, but it's going to look a little different. And it's going to have a 4-cylinder engine that produces 200 horsepower. Definitely have a manual transmission as well as an automatic. Hyundai also made improvements to the rear suspension of the new Elantra. Instead of a recline type, it's now a vertical type. We drove it and it's good. However, it's still not an independent rear suspension, which is what is coming in the sport model in the fall. It's hard to think of these compact sedans as premium vehicles, but with little design cues like these rear LED taillights you get in the top trim levels, I think Hyundai really went the extra mile. In fact, the 3 lights are shaped kind of like the grille. It got the hexagon shape, so it's nice how they tied the rear end to the front end. While the design and performance enhancements to the new Elantra are significant, it's really what you don't see that's impressive. So high strength steel, that's been increased from 21% to 53%. Structural adhesives, that's something you usually find in higher end cars. The outgoing model had 10 feet. This one has 394 feet. What does all that mean? It means you're going to get a stiffer car that's going to ride better. In fact, we think it might be the best handling car in the segment. I sat through Hyundai's presentation on the Elantra's interior, and it was extensive. They made a lot of improvements to make the interior bigger, better, and a lot more technologically advanced. The Elantra's interior has been completely redesigned. As you can see, it resembles the Sonata. It's much wider, it's more contemporary. Starting with left over here, you have a segment first, 2 presets for memory seats. So if you have multiple drivers, you can reset that. You have new gauges. You have an all-new steering wheel, leather-wrapped steering wheel. A lot of us commented on how wonderful it felt. You have a 3.5-inch multi-information display standard between the gauges, or a 4.2-inch in this Limited. Moving over here, Apple CarPlay. We love Apple CarPlay. They recently introduced Android Auto, and now finally, this is actually the first Hyundai to get Apple CarPlay, and it's brilliant. We'll show you a demonstration of that. You have dual climate zones. Of course, this is the automatic. Manual is optional on the SE. Starting price on a base SE with manual transmission is $17,150. Automatic adds $1,000. SE Popular starts at $18,950, and SE with Tech Package $20,250. The Limited we're driving today starts at $22,350. Limited with Tech $24,850, and the Limited Ultimate tops out at $26,750. Hyundai went through great lengths to make the new Elantra quieter. They've actually added thickness to the windshield, even the side glass. That's good, but the engine noise, still a bit loud. I think they could work on that. The real beauty of this Elantra is in the ride and handling. The use of the high-strength steel really stiffened the vehicle up. The old one wasn't bad, but this one is so much better, and really we had it on some pretty challenging roads, which is unusual for a car like this, but Hyundai really believed in it, and now they made believers out of us. There's a lot to be excited about with the new Elantra, with a starting price of around $17,500 and all new colors, all new structure, new engines. I mean, this is a whole new car in a very competitive segment. I realize Civic won Car of the Year, but those judges didn't drive the new Elantra yet. I anticipate this is going to win some awards and definitely should be on your shopping list if you're in the market for a compact sedan. Thanks for watching. I'm Ron Doron. We'll see you next time on The Driver's Seat.